Hey, welcome to the Teach Bigger podcast. I'm Chris Pratt, and we're here with Tyler Lamont and Chris Mosley. Hello, guys. How's it going?
Hello, greetings.
Mm-hmm.
Greetings.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mosley, let's start
How are
today.
you? How
I'm
are
good.
you?
I'm
to
good.
see you.
Mosley, I want you to start today, and I want you to tell us something great that happened to you today. I don't want to put you on the spot.
Do what?
I don't want to put you on the
Well, I
spot.
think you kind of did.
Right.
You even finished your little, I don't know, lead in. Something great. I worked out today. I guess I got outside. I guess. I mean, as far as like great, it's kind of a normal day because today was my teaching day. So,
So it wasn't great.
Right.
It wasn't that great. I mean,
All right. Nothing great on the virtual classroom going on.
That's true. So, I don't know. That's about it.
All right.
Oh, I know what.
Let's hear
great. I had to travel to my like the place where my school is, and there we get breakfast tacos there. And so since I had to travel to the school, I just happened to stop by and get me a good old breakfast tacos, and so that made my morning. So that kind of helped jumpstart my day. Helped me feel like I'm not in quarantine by having some breakfast tacos.
So, I've noticed a trend with you that the last time something great happened, it was that you went to Whataburger and got banana pancakes.
Oh, really?
And
I
then
guess
this time it was great because you got some breakfast tacos. So,
Oh, I didn't realize that.
so you
Can
know
we-
how to
can we-
you know how
can
to
we
treat.
edit out the other part about the food. I'll
Right.
find something non-food related.
So you know how to treat yourself is what you're saying.
Well, all we have right now is food. So, but at least I worked out afterwards. So,
I'm in the middle of fasting, so I haven't eaten in 6 days.
well, right. I'm fasting now. So next time that you have that question for me, I'll make it not about food. I have to write that down. Hold on. Go ahead.
With your marker that you have there.
with my highlighter that I have. This is what I did. This is how I teach with my highlighter. So,
That's good.
okay, Tyler, same question.
Something good that's happening?
No, something great.
Oh, something great.
Most things in your life are just good. We need something great.
Oh, something that's a little bit above average.
Yeah. I know it's kind of hard for you to think about. Go ahead and try.
Oh, okay. Well, I got my Twitch account all up and running.
You got a
And,
what account?
My Twitch account, and I streamed for the first time on Friday.
For those who have no idea what Twitch is, and by those I mean me, what exactly is a Twitch? Is it like something that you have to deal with medication? Tell me what a Twitch is.
No, Twitch is an online platform where you can stream directly. It's kind of like YouTube, but it's streaming like only. You don't post videos there, you stream videos, and then it saves the videos. A lot of people stream video games and lessons and a lot of things of that nature. There's actually a big uproar in the gaming community right now where they don't understand why teachers just don't stream on Twitch and then post their videos to YouTube and like teach kids that way. I mean, they're gamers, they don't really realize why that won't work. But yeah, so I streamed my first set of video games on Friday, and I set up my Twitch account, and I already have 4 subscribers.
Wow.
Interesting. So people log in to watch you play a video game?
Yeah, just like people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to NRG Stadium and watch grown men play a sport.
But at least you got the environment there. So I'm at my house and I log in to watch you play a game. For somebody I don't know. All right. Are these people that you know, or this is just like
He's having such a hard time with the concept.
maybe I'm just old.
This is a major boomer moment for you, Mosley. Just saying.
Yeah, it really.
I mean, are you playing Super Nintendo? Or are you playing? Well, I mean, what?
No, I'm playing Gears of War and Fortnite.
So
Okay, well, I'll have to like keep diving into that, I guess.
So does that
Okay,
make?
well, that's great.
So
Wait,
does
let me
that?
write that down.
Do they call you Twitchers? Is that what it's called if you're
What's
on
your
Twitch?
ID?
My Twitch ID is Paradiddle Pete.
Like, is there a name for those who Twitch, like the Twitchers?
I just asked that
No,
question.
They're just called they're called Twitch streamers.
Oh, I can hear you. Sorry. Whatever.
Look, I'm just letting you know. You only need about 5,000 subscribers in order to make roughly $5,000 a month to be a Twitch streamer.
Okay, well, stop. Let's hold the phone for a minute. So as a teacher, I could Twitch my lesson, and if I can get 5,000 kids to watch something, they'll pay me?
No, Twitch doesn't pay you. The people
Oh.
who watch you pay you.
Interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, they give you donations.
Tell you what,
I don't know. I don't know all the ins and out of it because like I'm not there. I don't get paid to do it. I just kind of.
you're a new Twitcher. You're
So
a mini
you're-
Twitcher.
I technically I am. I made the account like literally a week ago.
Is there something like for beginning Twitchers? Are you like mini Twitch?
They're not Twitters. They're called Twitch streamers.
little itty bitty Twitchers.
So, the idea is that you go on there and people watch you play, and
I mean,
then
I got that,
they pay you. They give you donations and whatever, and that's how you make your money. Because people like to watch you play this game because of the content or whatever it is or however you're doing it, and then they want you to continue. And if you have like a normal job or whatever, like you're not going to be able to continue to be able to give them the content. It's the same thing like a YouTuber. Like a YouTuber gets paid through either ad revenue or through donations or Patreon. That's just how the world works now. Like the world works on donations and subscriptions. Like nobody, like if you're getting paid by the hour, then like I hate to say you're a chump, but like that's just not how the world works.
Well, I'm interested in
Paid by the hour.
what?
Do what?
I said we apologize to anyone who he's offended.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that there's anything bad about it. It's just you're just so limited if you only work by the hour.
Pratt, Pratt, what great happened today in your world?
Well, now wait. I'm interested in what Tyler's saying because he's mentioned this to me before, but I'm starting to see it more and more because I get it. Okay, I get the whole idea of like I'm a game because for the longest time it was the hardest thing for me to go like, why are people paying people to watch them play games? Like that's
only one stem of income too.
Well, I get it, but I mean, it was hard for me to wrap my brain around that because I'm sitting here going like, why wouldn't I just play a video game? Why do I need to watch someone play a video game? But then I started looking at it solely from an entertainment purpose. And so instead of me going and watching a movie and spending my money for that, I'll just pay you and I'll watch you because I'd rather watch a game. So I get that.
That's fun.
But to some people, I mean, to think about it, you would pay to watch me.
I'm sorry?
Exactly. Like if this were something you had to pay for, you would be paying because
I would be in my bed right now.
Okay, what's the difference between that and like a musician who's live streaming and playing on guitar? Because I mean, there's
no
musicians
difference.
who are on Twitch who are playing guitar or drums or whatever, and they're on stream and they're streaming, and people donate to them or whatever and do that.
No, I'm with you. I like it.
I guess.
And let me tell you what, I have not missed a Hermitcraft season since season 4, and we are in Hermitcraft season 7. It's a Minecraft series, and I watch all of those YouTubers. I watched their live streams. It is so much fun to watch them play the game with each other. They make jokes. It is so much fun to watch them. It's kind of like watching a cooking show. Like, why would you watch somebody cook? I don't know, but people do.
I do all the time, so I can totally relate. Like I sit and
Well,
watch
I guess
people
you
cook
could
for
learn
hours.
from it, huh? You can learn from what they do, I guess.
Okay, so now this brings up something that I think we need to go down this.
How did we go down this?
This
dark
is where we need to be today. Let me tell you something, because this is big. Okay, so first of all, Paradiddle Pete on Twitch.com. Is that what it's?
No, I think it's .tv. It's Twitch/ParadidlePete/TV or whatever. I don't think I've claimed the URL.
Okay,
yet.
well, you need to claim it because I'm expecting you to make $5,000 a month. This is big. Like, if it's possible, come on, people. Y'all need to get out there and support Paradiddle Pete. You need to watch whatever he does. I don't know what he's
would not be
doing.
one of those people, so let me know how that goes.
Look, I'm gonna watch him. I've never even typed Twitch on my keyboard before, but I'm fixing to find out. I'm gonna become a.
And there's
Twitchy.
people who go on there, they'll live stream and they'll do nothing but talk and interact with their audience.
I like that. Okay, so now here's the thing though. Here's where this becomes important. Is that right now? Because I've been to several technology conferences this year, and every technology conference that I go to, the big thing is eSports, video games. Like it's taking over. Like I went to the Texas. There's a lot of money in it. And I went to TCA, which is, I think, the Texas Computer Educators Association, one of the biggest conferences for technology, probably in the United States, but for sure the biggest in Texas for technology educators. And I was blown away. And they literally had esports teams there playing live. And I was just sitting there watching it, and it was very entertaining. And it was cool to see these kids get so into this. But here's why I'm bringing this up. Because the gamers, if you will, they have figured out how to create their own subculture. The gamers have figured out how to create an online community where there's social expectations, where there's, responsibility and whatever. And I'm not saying it's all perfect. I'm sure that it has its flaws.
No, there's definitely some toxic stuff going on.
But what you can say is, because there's also toxic stuff going on in public education. So what you can say is this, that they have successfully figured out how to create an online culture. It may not be perfect, but the culture they have going is successful. And there are kids and adults who thrive in that culture, and that's what they do. Now, let's think about this for a second. If 4 months from now in August, we don't return to school for some reason, whether it's pandemic or some other reason. I mean, you just never know. Because I think at this point, everybody in America goes like, I guess we need to be prepared for anything, because anything could happen. Because not in a million years did anyone think that the entire nation's school system would be shut down for indefinitely in a way. Okay? So if we as educators are going to have to come back in August or September, and we're going to have to come back virtually. See, this year, whenever we left school, you had already been with your kids for what, 5-6 months, right? You've established a relationship with them. They know you. Mosley, you're able to get 98% engagement in your classroom, not because you showed up online, but because of the work you've done ahead of time to get those kids engaged. So what are teachers going to do when they come back in September or August and they have a whole new crop of kids that they have no relationship with? We're going to have to figure out how to build a culture virtually. And it has to be just as strong of a culture. And right now, can you name another organized group of people that have successfully created an online culture that's better than the gaming community?
Yeah.
Then we might ought to start taking a look at the gamers. I'm not saying we are going to do everything they do, but let's at least figure out how they do it and why they do it. And then let's learn from that and shape it.
It's entertaining.
And we all know school certainly is not entertaining. So, I mean, right? So think about this. Because with the gamers, they come back.
I have to edutain.
Now, listen to this. The gaming community, they come back every day to do the same thing, to learn what they want to learn, and they pay for it. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Because Lamond over here, he's about to start twitching for $5,000 a month. So I'm ready. Like, I'm ready. I'm going to support him. I'm going to be his Twitchy.
Well, I'll support him after he starts to be successful.
Well,
so you're like one of those Astros fans, right? I got you.
After he proves it. See, the thing is, I'm a teacher, Pratt. I want Lamont to get in there and do the work. Okay. Then after that, then I'll give him some feedback, and then whenever he's successful, then I'll jump on the train.
So you only support the kids who prove themselves first. You don't stick your neck out there. Okay. I'm just making sure I understand how your classroom's so successful.
That's it. I'm glad you know that now. Well, I guess it's a good point.
Of course
maybe
it is.
That's the reason. It was unintentional that we went down that dark hole. But I guess that is something that's pretty valuable that we can take from that is what can we take from that world that can help the world that could be, we could be living, pretty soon.
And I think here's something else that's big is this. Most of these kids, what are they doing when they get home from school?
Well, no, listen, I taught class today, and whenever they get on, that's what they're doing. Like, they're doing that first. And some of them, they're doing that, and I say, hey, stop it, pick up your instrument, and then they, So a lot of them, and these are some kids that band. I have band nerds, so I guess you're nerds, whatever. But like some of the kids that I never thought that would be on the game, like they get online and they're like they're on. So that is something to think about.
Yeah, and so these kids are coming to the school, and the first thing they do when they leave school is they're going back to their online gaming world. So they're not getting that fulfillment, whatever that is, through what we're giving them at school. And I don't think it's because the content is so much more interesting. I think it's because of the delivery method. Because kids are inquisitive and they want to know things. And they want to know things that they know are going to benefit them.
I disagree. I don't think it's not the delivery, it's the personality.
Okay, I'm
Because
with
the
you.
reason people tune in to those Twitch people, it's not so much that it's only like 50%, 40% with the game they're playing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the majority. It's like 80%, 90% the person. The
Mm.
reason PewDiePie has over 100 million subscribers on YouTube is not because he's good at games. It's
What
because
what is it? I'm gonna have to look up that and see.
Who,
so
PewDiePie?
PewDiePie, it's Pew Die Pie. Like it's exactly as it sounds, and he has over 100 million subscribers. He's the biggest independent YouTuber because there's another the biggest YouTuber is a corporation. But the reason people tune into his streams and tune into his videos is not because like he's good at them. It's because of his personality. The reason people tune into Ninja, the reason people tune into Pokemon is because they have this personality and they've grown this community and they feel a part of something. So, and I think that's something that a lot of teachers they miss out on, and they're so like curriculum and pedagogy and the
Content.
yeah content that they forget to show their personality, where more students would probably tune in to teachers lessons and would probably benefit from a teacher's lessons way more if they were gravitated toward their personality. Like Mosley, like you have a really strong personality. It's really loud and it's really fun. Like you're a kid magnet. So it's not a surprise that kids are showing up to your stuff on top of the culture that you already do.
Yeah, I think it was one of you. I was telling them like after, so my normal days when I start teaching starts at 6:15 a.m. Um, just to do like marching band, right? And that was like in the fall, and then even in the spring we do 6:15 a.m. rehearsals, and then I'll teach all day, and then whatever admin stuff after school, and then whatever, and then leave, right? And I was telling, like I said, one of y'all, after doing my like I don't know, couple hours of online stuff, I felt more exhausted after that because I feel like I have to do so much more to entertain them so I can grab them and captivate them so I can give them whatever information that I want to give them. So like I'm doing everything possible, making them laugh, like making them think, and like I'm tapping the screen, I'm moving up and down and all this to make sure to keep their attention, because if my energy level is like I would normally be, like at school, I don't think that would keep them, because
Mhm.
because now you know, we have a block between us. We have
Mhm.
more. Like they're thinking about other things too. You got your computer, they're on their phone, they're in their room, like all that.
Yeah,
So
your presence isn't there.
yeah, that you like. I think about my presence a lot, and teachers who have good presence usually have good classroom management. And so, like, whenever you're behind the computer screen, you don't have the presence anymore. So, what is keeping what's keeping them engaged and like, I guess under that thumb, like I feel like you have to have your thumb on kids, and if they feel like you can walk over to them and like, knock them on the head or something, sometimes they just kind of straighten up. You don't have that now. It's like, well, what are you going to do? So,
Mhm.
uh, I do everything to entertain them, everything to make them laugh. I say all of their names in one call. You know how it's good, like whenever they come in, you like shake their hand or whatever, like hello, boom and whatever, just so they know that you see them. Whenever they get on the call, I say their name. I'll say something to them, just because if we're sitting on a screen and you see like 30 other people, you're like, well, he can't see me, but I'm saying, yeah, hey Tyler, how's it going? What's that in the background? Hey Pratt, good. I see, blah 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 blah. And I'll say something to them, and I'll make sure that every person has like heard something from me, so they feel like, oh well, okay, he sees me. And
Mhm.
that's something I just kind of like I did, um, and it's a new classroom management, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
because it's kind of like
walking around the
kids.
room.
Yeah, and it's also kind of like kids always want to sit in the back of the room because they feel like they can't be seen.
Yeah.
And now all the kids are like sitting in the back of the room because they're
Yeah.
all in this video chat, and you have to do something to bring them to the front of the room.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So I just make sure as much as possible I say their name, I say something about them, just so they know, hey, I'm seeing you. And poke. I'm a joking person, so like I have way more jokes than I normally do, and I call them out on things and whatever, and just try to, you know, so like I see everybody, and then with us, we have to do things like individual a lot. Everyone can't be off of mute. So I make them play a lot of things, just so everyone's feeling like I'm giving and contributing. So, and it's a short amount of time, so it's fast paced, and it's like, ugh, whenever we're done, it's like, man, ooh, and I'm sitting down. So it's something I had to get used to. So that's where we are. Like today, funny story today, right? So this shows you. So whenever I'm teaching, or whatever, when I'm in front of the class and whatever, and everyone's on mute, so all you hear is yourself talking. you know. So today, what I did was I had another computer on the side of me, and so I kind of wanted to stop in one of the other classes. So I logged in on that computer, and I told them, okay, go ahead and play a couple of things here. Boom, and I muted myself, and I started talking to the other class, and I came back, and I guess I didn't realize I was still on mute. So I'm talking to the kids. I'm like, okay, hey, here's the announcement for the week, blah 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 blah, and blah blah blah, and da 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 da. And I kept going, and then one of the kids took themselves off of mute, and they were like, hey, you're still on mute, Mr. Mosley. And I was like, no wonder. It seemed like, because they're usually pretty like attentive, and they're like still like listening, and they give me like they nod. And that's another thing I told them too. I said, hey, if you're not overly responsive, it seems like I'm on mute. So whenever I say something and you give me like a nod, give me a thumbs up or something like that. So that's a new part of classroom management that I had to add. I said, because otherwise it felt like I'm talking to myself.
That's good.
So, so that's something new. Teachers, if you want to maybe kind of throw that in there to your arsenal. But anyway, I was on mute. I was talking to myself, and they totally couldn't hear what I was saying. So that was a funny moment today. But you live and you learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good tangent, Tyler. I'm glad you brought that up because
yeah, it is.
I think it's
we were
important.
going around, so I guess I'm glad we went down the Twitch hole. So we're gonna make that connection as we go on. So Pratt, we were talking about great things. So you tell us a great thing that happened to you today. Let me get my pen. I don't have any great things that you ever said, so let me go ahead and write this down.
Right. Well, I will say this, that I planted a garden recently. Well, I mean,
I think you said the last time.
I did, but I'm starting to see almost everything I've grown has sprouted. So spring has sprung.
How long is that process?
Well, it just depends on they all germinate at different times. So I'm still waiting on the parsley. That's the last thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's not good. We don't want no germs. You better pour some like disinfectant on there or something.
Exactly.
I caught that word too, germinated.
Right.
That's a buzzword nowadays.
Yeah. Well, anyways, but so the parsley is taking a while. So I don't know if something happened and the parsley's dead or if it just takes the longest. But that's all I'm waiting on. But we're gonna.
I have a question. So as far as the garden stuff, do you remember what you planted where, or do you have them labeled?
I do remember because I didn't plant that much. I only planted 8 different things. So I have 8 different planter boxes that I planted in. So I do remember because I can remember 8 things, but I did take a picture with all of the bags so that way, in case I did forget, I wouldn't forget.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
That's just a little gardening tip I learned.
When I was growing up and helped my dad with the gardening, we would just take those bags and he would just stick them in the ground right in the front of the row. That's how we would know what was what. And then by the time the sun had bleached it and it had been washed away or whatever, they had already sprouted up when you knew what was what because you could just see it.
Yeah.
I just mixed everything up and poured out the seeds.
I bet you did.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's it. My garden has started to grow. And so I'm excited about that. And it rained really hard last night. So
the vegan garden?
Yeah, it's because you can't plant an animal, so it is a vegan garden.
And they had special vegan plant. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, I do eat plant based, and
plant.
it's all a plant based
That's a
garden.
sad, sad
Yeah, 'cause
life.
they were planting those pig things earlier, and
Well, that's the bad thing is you can't
those
get a chicken to
cows,
sprout for
Um,
nothing.
cow plants.
Growing that bacon,
Right. That's
Oh,
the
have you
hardest thing.
ever had grown
I
bacon?
put I put a slab of bacon in there and it just won't sprout. I can't figure it out. I heard if you put it in water first, the bacon.
Oh yeah, it makes it better.
Right. It makes the root stronger. Anyway, so yeah, I did. I planted a plant based garden.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Yep. So things are good there.
Well, we look forward to the progress that garden's making, and maybe bring us some pictures next time of the garden and let
I
us
can
know
do
how
that.
it's going.
I did, and I even posted a picture on Twitter yesterday. So if
Whenever you make a meal too, we love to see what the progress.
I'd love to see how much cauliflower and black beans you put in it.
Yeah, let me tell you, you can knock it all you want, but man, we've been eating some good stuff lately. That's one thing the quarantine has given me is a little extra time to cook, and I've been cooking it up. I've been making some stuff.
That's good.
Good. So I know Mosley, you like to eat. I'm right there
I
with
do.
you. So it's good stuff.
But I'll say that for
No,
now.
yeah, mostly. You look like you like food.
No, I didn't say
know.
that wasn't an insult.
Well, the way you said it, it could be offensive.
No, because I was saying it based on our previous conversation.
Yeah, but
know
you're kind of shady too, so that's fine.
Mosley, I accept you, and I think that you're beautiful just the way you are, and you can
Thank
go
you.
out there and eat all the bacon that you want to eat.
I don't eat bacon.
Well, okay then.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
all right. So, there's
So
something
did you teach today, Tyler?
I did. I did teach
Anything-
today.
Anything happy? How was that today?
I think that because, I don't know if I've formally have said it or not, but I'm no longer a band director. I changed positions.
They fired
to-
you.
No, I left before that. No.
Found out you were bad.
Yeah, they found out that I
Good.
wasn't winning trophies. But no, I found out that there was a media position opened at the high school and then it's a CTE position. So now I'm going to be teaching a CTE course that's going to be getting kids certified in Adobe and Pro Tools and Logic and so I'm going to be teaching kids how to video and graphic design and create their own video games and design their own music and their own soundscapes and Foley music and things of that nature. And I just feel like that's a much better avenue with how kids can go out and be modern artists nowadays instead of going out and trying to be like an orchestral percussion or something. So, but the kids don't know that. So I'm trying to. I haven't told that to them yet. So
Don't listen to the podcast because then now they know.
well, I'm gonna tell them within a week. So it'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna let them know.
About your class today.
So the class was good. So the reason I told you all that is because I'm doing a lot of culture stuff. I'm talking to them about how to maintain the culture after I'm gone, and then we're drumming. But I think
what type of things are you doing?
so. We're talking about the three skills that build culture: safety, vulnerability, and vision. And then we're talking about the Ford method: family, occupation, recreation, dreams, the four building blocks of any relationship, whether it be platonic or romantic. And then we've talked about stoicism and how to be a stoic and control our emotions and our reactions, and how there are things that we can control and that we can't control, and then comfort zones. Like a 1 is sitting in my bed watching Netflix, and 10 is I'm freaking out. So we always want to stay at between like a 6 and an 8 because that's where we grow. And so we've been talking about things like that. But what's interesting is that like I'm kind of just talking, and but those kids, I don't want to sound arrogant, but those kids think I'm so cool, and they sit on the edge of their chair with like anything because they just think I'm interesting. That I can and I split it up because I don't spend the whole like hour or however long that we're in this Google Meet. I only spend about 15, maybe 25 minutes tops talking about this stuff.
What grade level?
Uh,
What grade level are you doing this stuff with?
I'm doing it at the high school.
Okay.
I've done a little bit of it at the junior high level. The sixth graders can't really handle it. The seventh graders kind of can, and the eighth graders think they're too cool. But if I do say something to them, it's more of like it's like a 5 or 10 minute like one shot. Like I say something and then I move on,
Uh-huh.
kind of deal. But they all those high school kids just kind of sit there and like they listen and that they ask questions. It's very much of like just a kind of a chat, and then after that we drum, and that's always kind of a nightmare drumming through
Yeah.
video.
You got working that out where you're able to have them do and not have a cluster of sound stuff.
Well, so what I do is I drum with them and everyone's on mute, so everyone's listening to my sound and I'm
Yeah.
just assuming that they're playing with me.
Yeah.
And then after we go over a warm up or an exercise, because there's only 11 percussionists in the class, and I only have about 7 of them that ever show. um, I just go one at a time, like, hey, like you, like little Johnny, you play now, and then like whatever, and then I give critiques right there. But to supplement that, because like it's hard to do the group thing when it
Mhm.
comes to music, I'm giving individual lessons to the students that are 30 minutes long. So that now that way, that one is way easier to
Yeah.
do
Do they
because
like sign up on a different day?
yes. So I teach 3 to 4 lessons a day. And then some kids kind of rotate out, and then there's some kids who just never show. So like, they're still labeled there, but like other people take their slot
Okay.
and
So I think
things of
that's
that nature.
interesting, Tyler, that you said that, because that was one of the things that we were discussing, is that we we're starting to observe that this pandemic and moving everybody to online learning, it's opened the door where kids are getting way more individual attention than they usually do from a lot of
Yeah.
teachers. And that's
Yeah,
been one
I
of
would
the
say.
good things that's come out of it, is there's a lot more personalization of instruction. And so I think we need to keep that in mind. And I would be curious what that looks like, in a first grade class or a third grade class.
Yeah.
And like, do you find that you're spending more one-on-one time with kids, whether it's to help them figure out technology, or because they don't understand the content or whatever the case may be. And if and when we do go back to a traditional school setting, we need to not lose that. I think that personalization is key, and we need to realize that it is the technology that helped us get that easily. And so if we can keep a hold of that, that'll be really powerful. Because think about it. What if you could have been doing a 5 to 10 minute individual lesson all along with those kids?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. I think this will open the door for us to think outside the box. We were forced kind of in the box, but I definitely think it opens avenues of what we can to supplement our in-person instruction. Um, and I think what has to be like what can be taken from this is like teach like you have an obstacle in your way, because like for me too, like I already hold myself at a pretty high standard, like whenever I'm in front of the kids, like I'm on, like I push myself to be like on level 10, and
Mm-hmm.
so well, I feel like a normal level 10 is not going to work here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having to think about what I can do to grab them even more, and to break down the barrier or to work through the barrier that we have. So um, I think it's up, like whenever we hopefully transition back to in-person learning, is to talk about what this felt like, and then what you had to do to like break the wall. Whenever they're,
Mm-hmm.
they're doing film, they talk about the fourth wall. Is that what they talk about?
Yes.
I'm not in film, but I've heard that, like, break through that wall. Like what you have to do to break through that one to be able to still get the information to them, like you're in person. So I think we need to like take this and use it as a stopping point or like a pivot point whenever we do get back to instruction.
I
That's for all the admin people out there.
Yeah, and you're right. So like in film, breaking the fourth wall is where where the movie cast talks to the audience.
Yeah.
So maybe it's breaking the fourth wall, but our goal is to always be talking to the audience. So maybe it's breaking the fifth wall. Maybe that's the education wall, is breaking the wall or breaking the screen, so that way you can reach. And breaking the fifth wall is trademarked by teachbigger LLC, just so everybody knows.
So
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, like if you think about it, like whenever you're in the movies or in the movie or whatever, and they're doing this, and they look at you, like they look at the camera and they say, "Hey, I know that," da, 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 and you're like,
you know who did that so well? It was the Muppets.
Yeah.
The Muppets were really successful at that.
"Oh, did they?"
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you should go back and watch.
Well, their audience is also kids, and they think that they're being talked to anyway because they think they're real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess
That's
so.
true.
That is something to think about, like breaking that wall.
Okay, so I like that. So I think that, and maybe in closing today, we need to kind of, because now I think what people are going to say is, well, how do we do that? What does that look
Yeah.
like?
How do you break that wall?
And I don't know that I have an answer for it today.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, maybe we can dive into that next time, like breaking that wall.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it by overdoing everything. Like I literally am. I'm overdoing everything, and I feel like my body temperature goes up, and like whenever I'm teaching in my house, and whenever I'm done, I'm like, I am. So I don't know. Maybe that's something with it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, fellas. Good stuff tonight. Good stuff.
All right, that's good. That's
thank
good.
you.
All right, well, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
All right. Be safe.
Later.